Okay, here we go again. This is the Speedrunner 144, and I hope I have this right. I did a recording earlier on, and I was not very pleased to find that my voice wasn't very audible in the last recording I made. So I just decided to make another one. And the reason why I didn't keep the last recording is because I didn't turn my Fraps volume down in the volume mixer in Windows. Anyways, this is the first episode of many to come in the speed-through. A lot of people like to do walkthroughs. I once considered doing a walkthrough, but I figured that a speed-through would be a little bit cooler. I would like to make this video 25 minutes long. I would like to make the next episode of this series 20 minutes long, and every video behind those ones, every video after these two videos, 15 minutes long until the, well, I guess I can call it the semi-finale and the finale videos. The semi-finale should be 20 minutes long and the finale should be 25 minutes long, accordingly to how I started out my series. With that said, let's go ahead and move on with Ghastly. Okay, so there's going to be a few ways, there's going to be a few things for me to mention. First of all, this isn't just going to be a speed-through, it's going to be comprehensive, which means that I'm going to say things to, well, for people who have never played this game before. Right now we're talking to a man named Professor Oak. And he introduces us with this creature. And these creatures are called Pokemon. My articulation isn't very well, I understand that, I'm sorry. I was really on a roll last episode. Next mentionable thing. You know, I find this really odd that my first name is one of the three you can pick from in the start of the game. So Oak doesn't know me, I have to tell him my name, and this is his grandson, and unfortunately he doesn't remember his own grandson's name, so I have to pick one for him. And Jack is a derivative of the name John, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pick John for my rival. Now, the story goes, I'm just a normal guy. I'm a normal boy who wants to go out and be the best Pokemon trainer in the world. And so I started my room in front of my SNES, and there's a bed in here. There is my own personal computer in here, which I will go ahead and access to get a potion. So, in my own computer, in Jack's PC, I can store and withdraw items, and that's going to be very handy later on in the game, and I'll tell you why. And we also have my plant without a name, and downstairs on the first floor, there is my mother, who is rather accepting of my leave because she watches too much TV. And she tells me that Professor Oak is in next door, and he's looking for me. But that can't be right, because this is John's house, and this is his sister. And he says that he's at she says that he's at Grandpa's lab because she is his granddaughter, who's staying in this town named Pallet Town. So in Pallet Town, you know, there's not a whole lot to see. Just water, people, these fences, and the Pokemon lab. In this Pokemon lab, there is no Professor Oak because he's out doing something else. And as you can see, there's no Professor Oak around here. And this is where I'm going to mention that you can't use a whole lot of logic in this game. So I have to trigger the event where Professor Oak finds me by walking to the grass without a Pokemon. And in this grass, there are Pokemon. So he says it's unsafe, come inside, you'll get a cold. Not really. He says that I'll have to have a Pokemon to go out of the town, not the city. In the game, my goal is to be the best Pokemon trainer in the world in this region, which means I have to beat what's called the Elite Four with Pokemon. So in order to do this, I have to have a Pokemon. And right now what I'm doing is I'm just introducing the Pokemon. Go ahead and take a look at the name, the kind of Pokemon it is, and its description, height, and weight, and its number. And if I'm going too fast for you, I'm sorry. Just go ahead and pause, or you can read quickly. Hopefully you can read quickly. Since this is Pokemon Fire, Pokemon Fire, no, Red version, not Fire version. That's what I'm going to be doing later on. Since this is Pokemon Red version, I'm going to go ahead and pick Charmander. But I always like to pick a certain name for my Charmander. Wait, yes. And that is Master. Nice, that's the first time I've ever typed that out without getting a problem. And so John picks his Pokemon, which is a Squirtle. And keep note in Pokemon games, your rival will always, always, always have a Pokemon that has a type advantage over your Pokemon. And right now, what he wants to do is battle us, to test out his Pokemon. So he has a Squirtle, tackled me. Anytime his Squirtle uses Tail Up, I'm going to go ahead and use Growl, because I have the first move. And it failed, so I can go ahead and use Scratch. Now would be a good time to talk about Pokemon types. So he's using a Squirtle, which happens to be a type, well, it's water. Its type is water. And my Charmander, is a Fire-type Pokemon, because, you know, it's kind of self-explanatory. Turtles live in water, and lizards live in flame. So that's not really it. But there is a flame at the end of his tail. And I'm just going to go ahead and finish up this Squirtle here. Alright, no problem. And upon beating your rival, he's going to give you some money. You will gain what's known as EXP points, which happens to stand for experience. HP stands for health points, and later on you'll see that PP it stands for power points. They're all acronyms. So I defeat him, and he gives me money. And he thinks that he picked the wrong Pokemon, so I have 175 more. Now is the time to go and talk to him. Alright, well, surprisingly, in the first generation, they just set the player off by not telling him what they're supposed to do. All they know is to go to a different town. But in this town, they can't really go by because there's a man blocking the road. Oh, and this is a Rattata. Rattata is a normal type Pokemon. And after your rival battle, anytime after your rival battle, if you happen to beat a Pokemon by making it faint, you will gain a level. No matter if you're at level 5 or level 6, you will gain a level. And the next Pokemon I make faint, I will gain a level. If I can beat it, yes. No, I'm supposed to level up. Anyways, this city is called Viridian City. And I'm not necessarily sure why they called it Viridian City, but it's Viridian City. So, this is the man I was talking about. I can't go through here because he hasn't had his coffee, and he's grumpy. So, I'm just going to go ahead and heal up my Pokemon, my Charmander. This nurse, she is referred to as Nurse Joy in the anime series, so I'm just going to go ahead and call her Joy. And there are usually 2 or 3 people in the Pokemon centers. In towns, there are these things called Pokecenters and Pokemarts. So this is the Pokemart, and I'm actually going to talk to the aide right now. The Poke-aide. Or the Mart aide. You know, I'm having a lot of difficulty trying to come up with a name for him. Anyways, yes, I can go back to the town, not the city. Wow, I made it all the way back without running into a Pokemon. It's never happened to me when doing this before. So, I give him the parcel, and John is back. And he has something to tell him, but since we're both here, Oak wants us to carry on his legacy by working on these things called Pokédexes, and I'll show you what those are soon. And John says that he doesn't need me because he's the macho guy. Okay, so in the Pokédex, well, there's not a whole lot to see. We've only seen a Rattata, a Squirtle, and a Charmander. I own one. So in the Pokédex, whenever you see a Pokemon, it will kind of register in your Pokédex, but it will only register as the image. And in this case, it's a sprite because, well, I'm going into technical detail on the game, but I don't want to do that in a speedrun. So this is the turtle that John had. It's called a Squirtle, it's a tiny turtle, its height and weight is not registered because I have not caught it, or I do not have it. But since I already have this, the Pokédex it has already registered the information that I need to see. Whenever you see a Pokemon, you can go ahead and figure out where its area is. See those flashing icons? Those all represent areas where you will find Rattata. Go ahead and take this one down, level up. Yay! Yes, here is a Pidgey. This is something I wanted to show you. So Pidgey is a bird, and with that, it is a flying type Pokemon, for anyone who does not know. Oh god. Oh no. Don't think so. I learned my lesson last time I tried to record, and I literally was shoved down by a level 6 Pidgey 4 times in a row. So now that I have delivered the parcel, I've given this old guy enough time to drink his coffee. Not really. I triggered an event by delivering the parcel to Professor Oak. These are already planned by the developers and the programmers. And I'm actually kind of sore that I haven't leveled up to level 9 yet, because at level 9 I learn a move called Ember. It's a fire type move, which is super effective against Pokemon types called bug types. I'm actually going to get inside this grass here, but I can go ahead and scratch for a little bit. Go ahead and avoid that Pokemon trainer, pick up another antidote, actually pick up a antidote, and rush through Viridian Forest. But, oh no, it's a Pokemon trainer. So, this guy that I'm fighting is known as a bug catcher, and he is a Pokemon trainer, and I now have Ember. Would have been good to have earlier on. Whoopsie. Okay, so my goal for this episode is... That was my phone, I'm sorry. So my goal in this episode is to show you around the city, Pewter City, and my goal is to eventually level up my Charmaster enough that it will become a Charmeleon after evolving. You see, when you get a Pokemon's level high enough, your Pokemon will evolve. If you try to go outside of the city to the east, this guy will stop you. He says that Brock is looking for challengers, and if you do not know already, Brock is the gym leader of this gym. So in this gym, there is one trainer that you can easily go by, and this is Brock up here. But we're not going to fight him yet because my Charmander is no match for a rock-type Pokemon, like Onix, or... what else do they have? Well, I don't really know. But the Pokemon trainer has a level of 11 Diglett. Yes, a Diglett. And so I'm just going to work here. Oh yeah, I haven't introduced you guys to the town yet. Alright, so this is Pewter Town, Pewter City. And there's a little house in here with a boy and an old man. That doesn't sound right. There's a guy who's digging in a field. The guy who brings me back to Brock's gym. Oh, and he's the guy that also happens to... I'll show you. Walk through this wall here. So, this is a girl. And this is a Pokemon Museum. And since I have money, I'm going to go ahead and go inside for you. Okay, so, this is... well, okay, let me show you that again. This is an Aerodactyl fossil. Yay. Later on in the game, you will come across a Dome and a Helix fossil. And the Dome fossil will give you a Kabutops. The Helix fossil will give you an Aerodactyl fossil. And you can bring this to a center in Cerulean City, no, Cinnabar Island, so you can revive the Pokemon. And you can have an Aerodactyl or a Kabutops, whichever one you choose. This is a Pokemart. And I'm actually going to go inside and buy a couple of potions, because not only am I doing a speed run, but I'm also doing a solo run. So potion... so that means I have no need for Pokeballs. Go ahead and buy 10 of those. Buy 2 more of these so I have 3 antidotes. Antidotes are absolutely crucial when you're playing on a solo run, because, well, let's say that you happen to find yourself in a really rough battle, and say it's against a Weedle, and it uses Poison Sting. Poison Sting happens to change your stat to make your Pokemon poisoned. And instead of seeing a level 9 and under my Charmaster's name, there will be the letters PSN, which will indicate a stat change. And stat changes can be paralyze, they can be burn, or they can be poison. And being paralyzed really makes things difficult, because not only does it reduce your speed, it increases the chance that you will not be able to attack, along with missing. So let's say that you're confused, but that's not necessarily a stat change. If you fight against a Zubat, it confuses you. That's not a stat change. But in the same battle, let's say you're in a trainer battle, someone brings out a Pikachu. Not only where the heck did he get a Pikachu in the first generation, but this Pikachu also happens to paralyze your Pocket Monster. Pokemon were originally referred to as Pocket Monsters. And since your Pokemon is now confused and paralyzed, it reduces the likelihood that you will be able to damage your opponent. And I already talked to you. Heal. So my goal, and I'm already 14 minutes in. I'm making really, really good time. Okay, so my goal in this episode is to beat the gym leader. And in order to do this, I must have a Charmeleon. I'm not sure if I said to do correctly. I think I said to do, or whatever. Whatever it was. Okay. So Pidgey has a selection of moves when the Pidgey is a low level. And something to also mention, there are different genders of Pokemon. So my Charmaster's gender is not indicated. Unless I go into stats. Let's see, gender. Nope. Geez, I don't know. I don't know if there are genders in the red and blue games or not. But whatever. I know in Pokemon Yellow Special Pikachu Edition, there are genders. So, a Pidgey starting out has 2 moves, I believe. And those are Sound Attack and Gust. And Gust is a normal flying attack move. Huh. Just flying attack. Rattata has Tail Whip and Tackle. See, when you're starting out with Pokemon, they're going to be low levels. And the lowest Pokemon you can find in the first generation, I believe, is level 3. Can't find anything lower than that. Unless you get an egg, however. And I'm actually gonna... Well, you might have noticed that I KO'd that Pidgey in 1 hit. And that was because I was able to deal enough damage on him, and it was classified as a critical hit. And it just happened again. So, sometimes, rarely, and randomly, you will get critical hits on your target, and I just had 3 in a row. There was another one. So I'm level 13 now, I just need to level up 3 more times in order for my Charmander, to evolve into a Charmeleon. Oh no! No power points. Oh, it's a Weedle. Okay, observe. So, there are 3 different types of effectiveness against a target. If I were to use Scratch, which is a normal move, it would do neutral damage towards a bug Pokemon. Let's say you go outside and you catch a Grasshopper. You use a propane torch, to set fire to the Grasshopper. It burns up pretty quickly. Now, when using a fire attack on a bug Pokemon, it's classified as super effective, so it has super effectiveness. While using Scratch on the Weedle would only have neutral effectiveness. And let's say if I were to use a normal type move on a rock type Pokemon. Imagine, imagine taking your fingernail and scratching a rock. That would be, how do they classify it as? Not effective? Oh, they classify it as not very effective. So it has not very effectiveness. But, you know, like I said earlier about not being able to use logic in this game, you'll eventually come to points like, hey, why won't electricity be super effective against a bug Pokemon? And that is because the game developers did not feel like making it that way. That, and they probably came to a point when regarding that matter. Okay, level 14, Ember seems to take him out in 1 hit, especially Weedles. Oh yeah, something else to mention. Since I'm doing a solo run, I haven't thought to mention this. In your Pokemon tab, the Pokemon you see here will be known as a party. So let's say that I have a Charmander, a Pidgey, a Weedle, a Rattata, a Zubat, and a Diglett. That would be a full party. At least I think so. And, well, there's not much more to say about that. You can only have 6 Pokemon in a party. That was just my phone. Come on, go. Okay. And we go back to scratching and burning things. Aha! One level. At level 15, your Charmander learns Leer. So, level 16 is an evolution stage for Pokemon with 3 evolution stages. And I think it's that way in the first and second generations, but it's not that way in the third generation because that has been expanded upon in the sense that different kinds of Pokemon evolve at different levels. But I guess we'll see when I get to that. And since I'm doing a speed through, it probably won't be too long. Okay. This could be the last battle before I... Okay. In the next 2 battles, I should level up. Oh, come on, what's going on? Yes. Oh, come on. Alright, let's see how much XP I have to gain before my Charmaster evolves into a Charmeleon. Okay, so 68 XP till I get to level 16. That's not... Okay, that's 23. That's 40. Alright, next battle. This is the battle, you guys. You will witness an evolution if you've never witnessed one before. And it's always exciting to have an evolution. Don't you just love that little town? So, after your Pokemon gains a level, it will show you its attack, its defense, its speed, and its special stats. You can modify these later on in the game by giving them Carbos, Iron, Protein, and I think that's it. Anyhow, I now have a Charmeleon. And I think I should change my name now that I have a Charmeleon. But what's the fun of that? Alright, now I can go and screw some people up in the gym with my new Charmeleon. So much progress, man. Yep. Okay, so this guy is going to start out with a Diglett. And I believe he'll follow up with a Sandshrew. Sandshrews have really high defense, so it's always good to beat those. Whenever you beat a trainer, he will give you money, by the way. It's not just your rival, which you can then use in Pokemarts. And I'm just going to go ahead and heal up before I fight the gym leader. And I'm not going to use speed on the gym leader because the music for a gym battle is awesome. Alright, so listen closely. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off my mic now. Just a warning, turn your volume down. I just feel like I should mention really quickly, Brock's Onix is going to have a move called Bind, and that's going to prove to be a big problem for me, so I might not win this. Actually, I'll win it. I have potions. My bad, it's actually Bind. My bad. Okay, so I'm back. And we're just about to hit the 25-minute mark, so I just defeated the gym leader. Hooray! I will see you guys in the next episode of this series. So thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for staying with me. I'll see you guys later.